And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates to Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel.
Yes.
Would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Dees.
We just finished watching Station 11.
We did.
And it was on HBO. It's a show that nobody knows about or talks about. Nobody gives a shit about this show.
Which is sad because
it was excellent.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why more people aren't watching that, but you should watch it now before HBO decides that it's sci-fi and it should be removed from the internet.
Yeah.
Like they did with Raised by Wolves, another show that we both really liked that they canceled and then bleached off of the internet. As well as Westworld, another show that they removed. Yet Game of Thrones season 7 and just hanging out there.
Yep.
Is it 7?
I don't.
6, 7? I don't know.
I think it's 7. But if there was something that they should maybe feel shame about to remove, possibly.
I don't think that's the one. Maybe how about Entourage?
How
the entire show Entourage.
I haven't seen
fucking turtle, bro. Sorry.
But Station 11, it's just one season, 10 episodes. It was
fantastic.
Really, really good. Yeah.
It might have been like 9-10 hours of TV. Some of them were like 40 minutes.
Yeah, episodes were like 42 an hour, I think.
Some of them towards the end were like an hour. So, man, so good.
Yeah.
I was like, before we started the last episodes yesterday, I told you I was worried that I thought the ending was going to suck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because shows that are really good oftentimes have a hard time landing the plane. You know what I mean? And this one was so good. It was like perfect. Start to finish. Perfect. I don't know that there's another show that's like that. The Bear so far has been pretty perfect.
The Bear has been really good.
I don't know though. If the Bear has an ending and it's not great, then it gets damaged. The whole show gets damaged by the ending not being great. Right?
Yeah.
But this one just nailed it. Perfect.
Yeah.
I kind of wish there was more, but I know that if there would be more risk of ruining it.
Yeah. None of the episodes feel like you could skip it, or anything like that. Like all the episodes I thought were just really good. Yeah. Do you wanna kind of give a synopsis of what the show is about for the everyone who has not heard of the show?
Without getting too granular, the show starts off with a chance meeting between a guy and a young girl. And through circumstance, he ends up sort of taking care of her for a little while. During that period of time, the world ends in a pandemic that goes crazy. By the way, written pre-pandemic, but recorded literally seconds before the pandemic and released during it. It was anyway, so pandemic has a big effect on the world, changes a lot of stuff. And then different groups of survivors do their own thing, right? One group is this group called the Traveling Symphony. They are actors and musicians, and they kind of go around this thing called the Wheel, and they perform for different survivor groups. And that's sort of the basis for what this is. Then you get some cool flashback stuff to before the world ended. And there's this book called Station 11, and it's sort of this artist's like sci-fi creation that's sort of like a metaphor about being alone. And that book exists through like chance encounter and goes through people and through like lineages, and ends up like being a major factor in the afterworld after the pandemic. in a way that's like kind of heartwarming in some times and terrifying in others. And I mean, like this one person's work, which they self-published and only published what, like 5 copies?
5 copies.
Went out and just like literally changes the world in a really profound way. And it's just so fucking good. Every part of it is so good. I mean, it hits me specifically because like the comic art thing, and I totally get that. And I just think that, you know, so they treat what you do is arbitrary, and then in this like the most important thing in the world afterwards, like the what you value is different. It's so fucking good. I mean, it's just excellent. Like a hard 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the weird bits, because it does have like an ethereal kind of dreamy vibe in certain parts.
Yes, there's definitely a dreamlike quality to just certain scenes or kind of the logic that is used for decision making sometimes.
And the music.
Oh, the music was so good.
I know. Excellent show. Like, I don't know who was responsible for putting that shit on TV. But like every instinct of the people who program television should have weeded that out way down the line. They should have never let that get made. But let me tell you, the fact that those people fucked up and did not make another fucking My Cat's Wedding or some shit show, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, they're so good. Is My Cat Cake? They could have made 5 of those.
Even because there is a fair number of like flashbacks to like the before times and then like the post-pandemic world.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know about often, but sometimes when you get a show that has kind of the flashbacks and flash forwards, sometimes you kind of prefer one over the other.
Yeah.
But I really liked both. It was never like, oh, I wish they'd go back to like the different time. Like I was really interested in what was happening in both of these timelines.
The story was built perfectly so that the things that you were seeing in one episode, when you'd go back and see the stuff from before, it didn't feel like it was in service to one part of the story only. Like flashbacks oftentimes only serve to illustrate the future.
Yeah.
Right? So you go to a flashback to get some information that'll help you understand the future better. And that's how it's always done. This was so good because you could see things that were going to happen before. Like full episodes were in the flashback.
Yeah.
Multiple episodes.
Yeah.
The whole story was split up across time, which is perfect. It was so good. If you could watch a show on recommendation, it would be The Bear and fucking Station 11, which is a fucking masterpiece.
Yes.
Station 11 is a fucking masterpiece. So good.
It was excellent. There was I'm not going to say what it was, but there was something in the very last episode where I was like, if this does not happen, I will riot.
Yeah. You know what? Normally I don't like that. I don't want to spoil it, but that type of thing does not affect me. And I was there with you. I had a pitchfork and a torch and I was ready. I was ready to rock and roll.
Yes, yeah.
It was so good. All of the cool Shakespearean kind of weaving of narrative was so perfect. And then at the end, the culmination of that was just spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Called it, by the way. You episode early, like episode 4.
You did. You called it early. It was so good. I really, there's a character introduced very early on. His name's Jeevan. He was, I think, one of my favorite characters in it.
Yeah. I have too many. Obviously, I feel like real connection to what's her name? The artist.
Oh yeah, Miranda.
She's incredible. But then like I really kind of understand the older gent. And I don't want to talk too much about why I like them. I can't without fucking things up.
Yeah.
But like there's so many good characters.
Yes.
Oh, but there is one that we both, I would imagine. I know who Look, we have not prepped this before we did the intro. I said I'm going to do a countdown to 3, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say the name of the person that we hate from the show.
Yes.
I mean, it's not the actress. The actress was fantastic.
Yeah.
We all know I know exactly that you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course.
Because I said actress, you're like, yeah, you didn't even no hiccup. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, Alex. Okay. Yeah. That bitch sucks.
Oh.
The actress was fantastic. She was believable. She did all her lines great. She's a fantastic, but the character made me want to backhand someone so hard.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever wanted to. I would have spun my whole body around full rotation. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but everyone should go watch that. It's a great show.
Yes.
Excellent. Top notch.
Yeah. If anyone out there is looking for a show and you have HBO, or I guess Max as it's now called, you should definitely watch Station 11. It was very good.
Yeah. And so is Fleabag.
Yes.
Haven't finished it, but I wanted a break. I don't think you wanted a break. I needed a break after season 1 because shows are not made to be binged like that.
Yeah.
So just some off time in season 1, and our off time was Station 11, which was a fucking awesome pick.
Yeah.
And now we get to go back to Fleabag. TV's pretty good right this second. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we should get to the episode.
I guess so.
I can talk about the show all day.
Well, this is Return to Ravenloft, Season 2, Episode 12, Fraternizing with the Enemy.
Hey.
Darkarius tries to step forward in front of everyone, proclaiming the original. He is the original. He is the true king of Darkon. The domain was his.
Ah, yes. The original, offed by a 12-year-old and his friends.
You get a couple laughs from the other with that statement.
Soth good for you, pal.
Soth asks, "Why don't you ask where the woman that summoned you is?" The possession kind of turns its head sideways.
You were called here by someone.
Soth is like, "Don't you wonder where Doctor Midnite is at? He's killing her. And your order. You've overstepped the line." He gets this horrified look over it, and he looks over at Midnite, and Midnite just gives a slight nod. It's where he left when he left you guys on the ship.
Oh.
Can I send a signal to Adri and Rayne?
Mm-hmm.
How far apart are they standing? Are they relatively close?
That's up to you guys. You guys can pick where you're standing in the place.
Kess is standing at like a nearby pillar, like leaning back against it.
I don't think I'd be that far away from where Kaeviir was standing.
I'm going to...
Originally, anyway.
As I was making that statement, I was kind of walking towards them. And now I'm going to turn and walk back to the pillar, over towards one of them that's near where Kess is standing. As I turn, I'm going to hold my hand up like I'm taking a drag off my cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do, I'm going to Thieves' Cant in a way that only those two could see. And I'm going to say, try to get as much information like as you can on the people we don't know in this room. Check out the newbies. Like, that's what I'll say.
The Baron pops her jacket and... Soak, what do we have to do to leave? I have a city to run. Soak's like, well, okay. Poof, you're gone. and she fades into vapor.
Can I like do an investigation or something on the elf in Violet?
Of course.
Just to maybe get an idea of like based on her clothing, like what region she's from, or if like say something about her. She's wielding a long machete. So if
Mm-hmm.
I've heard anything about someone using that type of weapon before, or if there's any sort of like heraldry or symbols on her tunic, because having a violet tunic seems like a very unique color for Darkon.
It is.
Okay.
I'm going to, while she's doing that, I'm going to walk over so I can get a good eye at the person with the coin.
Okay.
I got a 25.
Okay. 25. The long machete, the violet tunic, it leads back to a name, Gabriel Saran. You recognize the Saran name from the violence caused with the machete. More of a marauder of sorts, an exiled elf from the Elflands. She was too bloody and too hunger for blood to be in their ways. They exiled her, and she's kind of just walked around picking up stragglers and almost creating like a Hun-like army moving. Her ranks are mainly full of despots and murderers.
What is she doing right now?
She, from what you can tell, she's weighing up her options in the room, seeing where she matches up.
Okay.
And you said you were walking around the masked one. The coin that rolls across his hand, throughout your years, you've seen many shapes, many symbols, you'd recognize a holy emblem when you, or not, well, an emblem of a deity when you saw one.
Right.
You're pretty damn sure that's his holy symbol.
A coin.
The coin he rolls around in on his hand. The way he keeps it, it's almost like like a focusing device almost. Like a mage would keep a focusing, or a cleric would keep a holy emblem.
Right.
Except this, he keeps it as a coin.
Right. What kind of weaponry does he have on him?
Go ahead and give me an investigation or a perception.
Yep. I'm gonna lucky that.
Okay.
That was a 19.
He has a long dagger. It's a unique shape. It's tucked and hidden in his cloak. But the way he moves and walks, you can, throughout time.
Sorry, I got a 19 and a 19.
So throughout time, as you've seen him move, you've been able to pick, like, almost like mentally picture the puzzle pieces of his blade put together. As the way it moves and folds around as the cloak moves.
Right.
It seems to be a sharp, you would assume it's a longer, thin blade. It's stabbing mainly.
Like
But
a piercing.
Yeah, but almost like precision. Not almost, but
Like
it's a precision blade.
Like a torture stick.
He definitely doesn't use it for defense. Definitely only uses it for attack, and he uses it for killing up close.
Right.
So.
What about his hands? Does he wear
Um.
gloves?
Yes. Does Kaeviir actually have any Forgotten Realms knowledge at all?
Yeah. I mean, look, if it exists out there, I'm probably lightly affiliated with it.
All right.
The Black Spire travels everywhere.
Okay, then you recognize the coin as the fallen god Baal, the god of murder from Forgotten Realms, that died thousands of years ago.
I'm pretty curious about just a general thing that I would have been paying attention to, I imagine. everyone has their gear and their clothes. Everyone has their hairstyle. Everything is very the way they normally look, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of a way to say this. So things are in the state in which they were when they were brought here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you had like a torn cloak, the cloak stays torn when you arrived. It didn't repair itself
No.
upon your right. So it's not an image of how you're projecting, it's an image of reality.
Yes.
So then on someone's boots, one could
Yes.
surmise that
If
they
you
would
see a
still
certain mud or a certain clay or something,
there
you
it
can
is.
surmise.
That's what I'd like to know. On the boots, on the gloves, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a detail on the gloves to determine what type why they would wear gloves. Does that make sense? So like a
Mm-hmm.
person generally wears gloves either to disguise who they are by not leaving fucking skin or whatever around. Fingerprints I know aren't really hugely big here, even though Kaeviir did start a database. Just putting that out there. But like so like if it's worn in the center, maybe one could assume that they use it for riding or something like that.
Okay.
If it's got like on the corners of where the thumb meets the forefinger, like a very isolated pull, like a rope, maybe
Mm-hmm.
that would mean a leash or something like that. Also looking for the boots to determine whether the interiors are worn, exteriors are more worn, the bottoms. I want to try to get an idea for what kind of activity this person's up to. Are they in the wilds a lot? Are they mostly
All right, let's start with the boots. You see more scuffs on the toes than you do the heels.
okay?
Like he'd walk more on his toes. He'd walk less on his heel, more on
So sneaking maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Thin dagger, sneaking.
The gloves, the wear you do see is what it seems from daggers, but you also a thin line you'd pick up on the outside of the indexes.
How thin?
And the pinkies.
Garrote thin?
Yeah, garrote thin.
Perfect. And then one last thing. I'm pretty certain I already know the answer to this. Would we say that is a lot of cloth, or is it metallic in any location? Would it jingle when they walked? Clink, jingle, or is
Not
it a lot
him.
of leathers?
No noise. No metal.
Anything that could give me region? Is there any sun staining, bleaching of the leathers or cloth that they're wearing, or is there water stains or
water stain and mud on the cloak?
Mud on the cloak. Dark? Is it like a black or like a clay?
Dark, with some clay on the fringes of the bottom of it, but mainly dark.
Okay. I'm just gonna make a mental note of that and keep it in my mind.
That's fine. Rayne does realize his uncle's keeping a little more distance than he normally does.
Mm-hmm.
One could probably premise it's that he's trying not to show the relation between the two of you to the group.
Yeah, the fact that we're both water genasi doesn't.
Yeah, that kind of doesn't help.
You know, because I mean, all elves are related, so I assume all genasi are related too, right?
Splish splash, he's brother of my dad.
Yep. What is Draga doing this whole time?
You see him antsy, like he's itching.
Oh well, I probably can sense why.
Yeah,
if he's wet, he was probably mid swim, maybe even mid hunt.
You also know that since the Dread Realms, he doesn't like being above water more than 2 hours.
Yeah,
a day.
he really 2 hours.
No, he is not fond of the fact that somebody ripped him out of the ocean.
Water, yeah.
You do see him
thirsty, Captain.
He breaks his eyes off staring at Soth to stare at you.
It's been a while.
It has.
You look worse for wear.
And oddly, you're looking better.
I take
How
care
is
of
this?
myself.
How is the sea bitch?
Well, when I left her, she was in good shape and in good hands. I'm hopeful that she's still the same way.
At least we can still be civil in that.
Yeah, that might be the only thing, but yeah.
Nothing personal. Trying to kill you to leave you for dead.
After everything we went through, and that's how you repay loyalty.
You hear a voice behind you, or to the side of you. There's no honor in that. He takes his eyes, get back to Soth. Anytime, anywhere. Dreadlord to Dreadlord. You're no Strahd. And you're no Azrael. You're in a pathetic realm on the outside of the rest of the realms.
I take a step back just to get up from between the two of them. I know my place. It's not here.
Draga takes a step forward, then stops and reevaluates the room. Nice try. You get me to lunge first, and then one of them lunges at me. Well played.
So, Captain.
Go for it.
You have your eye on the throne. I mean, I guess they could, submerge it in a bathtub or something for you. Build you a nice big tank.
He kind of looks at you odd. Dr. Midnite thinks he does not know that the castle is floating in the air, far above the sea. He turns back. Midnight kind of walks by him and walks around him. Dr. Midnite walks over to the table and kind of walks over and stands near Kaeviir.
Who does?
Midnight.
Doctor?
Professional.
Should I expect a letter? Should I expect a letter?
Dr. Midnite does not want that throne. Dr. Midnite does not want that throne in others' hands.
One could say that the only person who should wield power are those who don't want it.
Dr. Midnite's heard the same message from Soth.
Yeah, but you got like a long face thing going on. You got a regal type beak.
The one in violet. I've seen enough. Chaos God, send me back. I was in battle. Really? You seem really clean. He's like, and he poofs and she leaves.
Nice to meet you. Look forward to hearing from you.
Darkurius, I must go as well. He's like, okay. Poofs. Does anyone else?
I don't expect to hear from him.
Vincent's like, I got gold to make. Another time.
Is that the guy with the ball coin?
No, that is Rayne's uncle. He gives Rayne a quick thieves' cant of another time.
Yeah, I'll.
We're gonna thieves' cant buy.
He sees you and thieves' cant the middle finger.
I don't think that's thieves' cant. I think that's
that's universal language.
Yeah.
It is, and he disappears. Draga's like, now. And he's like, oh, so pushy.
Yeah.
And he poofs him out as well.
Before he leaves, Captain, I hope I'll see you again soon. I'd like to have a real heart-to-heart with you. kind of
Count
wink
on
and a
it.
nod.
I like
Count
how
on it, Rayne.
you spell CSEA.
And then the one of the mask raises the coin, and Sock's like, not a word. The mask shakes its head. All right. He poofs him gone. I think that leaves it down to you guys, Soth and Midnite.
Yep.
And the cheese stands alone.
Soth looks over at Midnite. If you don't take your realm back, I will. Midnite
Now,
shakes his
hold
head.
on. Maybe Cass wants it.
I don't want it.
Soth looks over.
No.
The bounty hunter? The monster hunter?
I already like what I do.
Soth looks at you guys. They're not gonna figure it out.
He's what's his name? The Azzy guy. Former king.
Darkurius
No.
or Azrael?
I'm like, Midnite could be the embodiment of a former king. Someone who used to run it. Take your kingdom back. Get it? See? Maybe he didn't leave. Maybe he just put a mask on.
Dr. Midnight laughs. Dr. Midnight is not Azrael.
Could be. Who knows?
Dr. Midnight was here when Azrael got here.
Well,
he doesn't have the personality.
You're
Dr.
right.
Midnight Dr. Midnight doesn't have the personality you had then.
Well, it looks like it's gonna have to be me. Is this like an on-site thing? Do we have to be here to do the job? Can we still go other places?
Dr. Midnight's afraid to tell you that once you are locked in as Dark Lord, you are trapped to your realm in a way. Yes, you can close and open borders. You can travel to another realm, but the Dark Powers very frowns upon leaving this realm or leaving the realms in the entirety, meaning they won't let you.
How do they feel
Except
about
Strahd. For some reason, Strahd was allowed to come and go as he pleased. But he couldn't stay away long. They always brought Strahd back.
How do they feel about vast changes in policy?
Both of them actually laugh at this point.
Is that a no? They're not progressively minded out here. I wanted to establish some sort of voting system.
Soth, I need to ask you a question. It's the reason I've been hunting you.
Who?
You.
Who's saying this?
Soth.
Oh, okay.
Moi?
First off, congratulations on killing the man I couldn't kill.
Who is that?
Strahd.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't that bad.
You use sunlight.
Yeah, it'd be silly to not.
Trust me, a spell I learned only after meeting him.
I highly recommend, if you ever have to fight another vampire, to use sunlight. You know,
Most of them aren't tied to the land. Most of them go down not that hard. But alas, a companion of yours revealed a secret about you guys.
Which companion?
The wolf.
How's he?
As far as I know, he went down when Sithicus did. When the realm collapsed, I escaped with a few others. The reason I'm actually here is because Azrael escaped. I need to know how. I'm done with being tormented by banshees.
Portals, maybe.
It's something in the castle. It's something he did, because if Dr. Midnite starts in, Dr. Midnite knows if the Dark Powers knew how Azrael escaped, Azrael wouldn't have escaped, and they would have, if he did, they would have brought him back. So whatever he did, he has escaped their reach. That is why Soth is here and looking.
Interesting.
Soth looks over. I've used mirrors in the past to look at other worlds and look at other visions.
Who
But
did?
I've
Who
never
else?
Soth, but I've never walked through a mirror. I never knew they had those capabilities until the wolf spoke of them.
Damn it.
He spoke of another world you walked to. One that mirrored us, but in a tainted reality.
Well, you'd probably like it.
How would one get there?
Well, they'd start off by being real friendly to me. I'm just gonna stare at him. I'm like straight up stare at him.
I'd smile at you if I could.
Yeah, I saw that. You don't have any face skin. That's the problem. You should look into that.
Sock's like, I want to see. Soth puts a finger up, pointing at him.
There are ways to travel. I'm familiar with them. So are my colleagues.
I'm pretty sure the prophecy speaks of the blood of the first, and it's not talking about the ruler of Darkon.
Who do you think it's talking about?
The first Dreadlord. The first of us. There's only one. And you killed him, which means if we need the blood, we need to find it somewhere else.
Oh no, we got the blood.
You have Strahd's blood.
Oh no, not his.
The first Dreadlord. Oh,
right. I thought you meant the other. I thought the guy, because we had his blood. We still have his blood.
That's not Decurious Rex. He is. And he points at Midnite.
What?
Midnite just shakes his head. Soth, you promised. How long are you gonna walk around him, Lich, and not tell them?
Jerry. Sorry.
Soth is Midnite. That was lifetimes ago. You see his mannerisms have stopped. The whole character of Midnite has kind of faded now.
Don't you hate it when you find out one of your friends used to be royalty? Ugh, it's like, we get it, Megan. You married a guy with red hair.
I just wanted to live amongst the common folk and see what their lives were like.
Kess is keeping her hand on, like, ready on her sword.
she's
Everything's feeling very
swords.
tense.
She's got extra swords.
She's like, damn it, I'm going to kill someone today if it's the last thing I do.
It has been 1 hour and 14 minutes since I've killed something.
Which implies that she was just in her room stabbing mice or something.
Isn't that a Bare Naked Ladies song? It's been 1 week since I killed someone.
Yep.
1 week since I killed something. No, but we did take a short rest, which is 4 hours, Rachel says, for being very legitimate here. Since it's only been an hour since you killed something, that means you were just murdering things in that room.
Oh, so that's what happened to Victor. Oh, okay. Now the truth comes out.
Really
I just think she was in there and she brought out like a bag of mice. She's just crushing them with her gauntlet. Like, just every hour on the hour. It's time.
Like Gallagher style. She just puts a big wood block on the floor and
who want to smash some fruit?
Want to bring out the sledge-o-matic?
Oh my god. Victor is the little poncho. He's in the front row. You got to.
Oh my god.
It's just covered in rat's blood and watermelon.
Look, I'm going to be honest. We'll just take a second to step away for a minute. Gallagher's not the worst comic I've ever seen. His actual dialogue wasn't the worst.
No.
But then he'd smash watermelons because he's a fucking weirdo.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay. Like, it's weird that that's your thing, but okay.
Well, it's like I think he wanted to be able to speak to two halves of his audience. There's the intellectual, I like wordplay, I like observational humor. And then there's the redneck NASCAR, we want to see the pits explode kind of people who are like, hell yeah, smash that can of fucking kidney beans up there. That's what we came for.
Look, I'm just saying,
my thought on that.
I'm just saying it was a weird shift.
Yes.
At a certain point in that show.
It was just a strange shift in tone.
We're going to squish some toothpaste tubes. It's like, okay. All right. Weird flex, but all right. Feels like something maybe you should have told me, but since I was Kevin up until just recently, I guess I can't hold it too against you too bad.
Midnite, the Curious Rex was a lifetime ago. When Azrael showed up, it seemed like the perfect time just to let it all go.
How old are you, by the way?
Give me 1 second.
I don't get to meet anyone who's older than me. So it's nice once in a while to just be the young cat in the room. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking Rex doesn't know about fucking TikTok. What a nerd.
I think it's interesting though. Now, if you look at the four of us between Kess, myself, Kaeviir, and Doctor Midnite, all four of us have either tried to hide something about our identity or are completely in the dark about their identity. But there's a common thread here.
Mm-hmm.
It's up there. I gotta pull up an old Ravenloft timeline and figure out when Darkon was formed.
Thousands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially now, considering that was like first edition.
Also, though, aren't the Dreadhomes like kind of outside of regular time? So
yeah,
it's kind of difficult to judge it by that anyway.
Yeah.
You look over at Dr. Mid like, hey, did you go to school with Moses and Abraham too? Yeah, and Methuselah.
No, they were in a class way after me.
Yeah.
I'm 6,000. Hold on, I have it written down somewhere. Where are my notes?
6,000 years old? Well,
about 6,000, yeah. 5,948. But who's counting?
Besides you.
You got to.
So as we left off, the 5 of you plus Soak.
Anyone want to play Uno?
So do you have one of them, or do you know where location of one of them is?
I do.
Are you willing to show me how to use it?
No. They're dangerous artifacts. We can't just allow people to have them, or even to have knowledge of them, to be perfectly honest with you. But it seemed like you were sort of ahead of the curve on this. Remind me to speak to the wolf later.
He didn't have a choice.
Well, I do.
No, the one in your possession, you do.
Trust me. I have I'm gonna look at AG to get confirmation that we had two, and I'm like, never mind. We're a collector. But I do look forward to your petition. I'm sure that when the time comes and we need to retrieve the blood, I'd be more than happy to make arrangements.
If you can't get Midnite to sign it, I'll sign your damn paper.
Send the petition. I'll take you into consideration. I plan on leaving this place better than when we found it.
We'll see how long that lasts. It is Darkon.
You ever consider renaming it Lightcon? Just a
no
BrightCon?
Like that movie?
What? What?
Isn't that
Wait, she read a movie? She watched a movie, not read a book?
Isn't that Underworld? The werewolf people are called like the Lycons.
Oh, Lycans.
Lycans. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they said it like with a weird accent.
Oh, of course
or something.
they did. They're trying to be weird. Those movies are so weird. You know what's funny though? Ironically, Darkon is an actual movie.
Is it?
It's called DarkCon, and it's about LARPers.
What?
Oh, is that the Darkon Darkness Rising or something?
It is ridiculous.
Oh God.
Okay.
It is.
The protagonist's name is Skip Lipman.
What?
Skip Lipman, a suburban stay-at-home dad, embarks on an epic quest to topple a mighty empire in a full-contact, live-action role-playing game known as Darkon.
That takes place in a baseball field near a little park that literally has minivan parking directly in line of sight of many of the major battles.
Oh, no. When you look at the top billing, Skip Lipman, self. That's the man's real name.
Oh, no.
He plays himself.
Was it also written and directed by Skip?
No, surprisingly not.
It was a team of people that put the movie. It's actually, look, as silly as it sounds, it actually is a relatively good movie. Context taken for just with a heavy handful of salt.
Oh, okay. So it's a documentary.
Yeah.
It's not a...
No, it's not like a film about like a whatever.
Okay.
It's about LARPers.
Darkon is an award-winning feature-length documentary film that follows the real-life adventures of the Darkon Wargaming Club in Baltimore, Maryland, a group of LARP gamers in a film directed by Andrew Neal and Luke Meyer.
Right. And so that they actually showed many different factions of armies. You get to see it from different sides.
Okay.
Get context about their home life and then see them in Darkon engaging in mighty battles. It's very unique as far as the documentary goes. Anyway, my point being is that BrightCon's not so silly when you realize that Darkon is a thing, and I've been hearing it this whole time. I'm just pretending like I'm not supposed to say anything, but it's FYI, it's real. So maybe BrightCon's not so stupid after all. Look, I think when it comes to running for Regency, when you have a contested throne, having the support of powerful entities in the region, especially early on, can really do a lot for your claim. The first people to gain support are the ones that are likely to gain more support. People want to hop in on the winning side. I'm sure you're aware of this.
I've seen politics done in my time.
Well, then I would definitely write me a letter recommending whoever you choose to pick for the seat, making your case, and I will take it under consideration. And when the time comes, I can be more than useful in finding you exactly what you need. Or, whoever we decide should take the throne. I'm sure my partners here will take it under consideration. The four of us will make a wizened decision. Sorry, the four of us.
You see one of the pillars begins to crumble, and then another one. Sock's like, oh, they're angry.
Zoom is ending.
What's happening?
No, I'm just talking about that conference call is ending.
Sock's like, it seems the dark powers have found us.
I look forward to seeing your rider. Nice to meet you, Soak. Nice to meet you, Soth. Doctor.
Midnite's nods to the three of you. See you soon.
As soon as we pop out, I'm like, I was very clear about the rider, right? I don't want these motherfuckers knocking on the door in the middle of the night.
Solok begins to pop each of you back one by one.
Who does it go first?
Kestrel.
Does he have to snap twice to get her back all the way?
No.
Damn it.
Then Midnight, then Rayne, then you.
I assume we pop back up right where we started.
Back in your beds.
Oh,
where you guys started originally.
Nice. I'm all curled up in my nice comfy contract.
Did they get my right page?
It got the right page in the book you read.
Nice.
Before the whisper started. No cut on your hand.
I'm gonna look over at Victor.
He seems to be asleep.
I'm gonna take the pillow off my bed and just throw it at him.
He dodges.
Oh, you're awake.
He's kind of like wide-eyed at you.
Just checking.
Trying to... Guess it's been violent lately for you.
Picture for Santa Claus 2024. He sees you when you're sleeping.
By the way,
I wasn't asleep.
who's the kobold outside?
Oh, that's Hawks. He's all right.
That should be a t-shirt. Oh, that's Hawks. He's all right. We've said that a few times.
I know.
Hashtag he's on the boat.
He's like, all right. I had a familiar spell flying around earlier. Picked them up. So.
Well, some of his spells can pack a punch.
Wait a minute. Hawks. The kobold, that kobold's mage in the swamps?
That's where we found him.
Is that the same one that fireballed that little, like, town?
Quite possibly.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
That town had it coming. Closed-minded fools. They closed their gates when they saw us coming.
That's straight up super villain shit to say. That town, those petulant fools.
You drop one body outside the town and all of a sudden they don't want to talk to you.
You know, I've run into the same problem before myself, so I can understand.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. You're like,
just
I'm helping.
Trying to do just trying to do your job. Helping the natural order. Or unorder, I'd like to bring them back. Please don't kill Brendan. He won't take it well.
Who?
My living skeleton.
Why do you have a living skeleton?
Oh my god. You used to make him scrape it with his thumbnails to get the poop stains off.
It's a long story. Just he's gonna react really odd to you. Look a lot alike, like someone that he used to know.
Right.
And then he didn't see her for a long time.
You just kept growing those thumbnails out. Waiting for the day you might return.
So if he calls like Dark Lady or like Dark
This
Mother or something.
Dark Lady thing again.
Just go with it. He's a simple person. Please.
They call him the doo-doo scooper.
I promise not to kill your living skeleton unless it does something that warrants me needing to kill it.
I mean, the bright side, he's the only one that's not going to try to call you Adri.
Great.
This is the beginning of a romantic subplot between Kestrel and
skeleton? No. Gross.
And
the oldest skeleton in the realm with 2 thumbnails.
Serena, she may try to hug you. Just a warning.
I'm not big on hugging.
I know, but it'll make Kaeviir laugh, so. Him and Serena kind of have. I wouldn't call it a war, but they don't really get along.
That old bitch still alive?
Are we done sleeping now?
I think so. I'm sure. Well, Kaeviir is very eager to
get back to his ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is literally the only thing he talks about.
Kind of looks at you, Audley, for a second.
What?
Something's different.
With what?
Magic in the air. I don't know, it's erratic. It's not bad, it's like an aftertaste. He stands up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is my magic in the air erotic?
Wow.
Erotic air magic.
Oh.
You hear techno playing from fucking Kaeviir's room.
Oons, 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 oons.
I'm just kidding. You can go that.
So
leave it in.
Are we? So how far away is the sky boat?
I think it's about 5 miles. I left it.
Okay.
We have used every combination of house, sky, boat, ship.
Mm-hmm.
Sky ship.
You know, the floaty house.
Sky ship.
The
Airship.
wagon that goes in the air. All right. Well, perhaps we should pack up and head out.
He uses his one arm to get up. Does his mage hand and pulls the cloak over with the other mage hand. He opens the door and walks out. Knocks on Kaeviir's. You guys ready?
That's my shut up, I'm reading. Sound.
I remember. It hasn't changed. Rayne gets up and gives her dad a nod and walks for the door.
All right. I'm just gonna continue reading. I'm gonna be lighting a pipe as I walk out.
They tap on Rayne's door.
I answer it.
You coming?
We're leaving.
The elf won't sleep.
She
Actually,
doesn't sleep.
He only meditates for 4 hours a day.
That's true.
That was the joke Victor was making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought we were just taking a short rest before heading out.
Yeah, we did. That's true. All right.
Yeah, she wants to take a short rest. I lost a fucking arm.
I'll gather my things. And
Can we would you guys mind stopping if we stopped here?
Oh, that's
Okay.
fine.
That's good.
I'm sorry, I'm yawning so fucking.
Oh no, it's all
Yeah,
good.
sorry.
In a row.
No, we got through the big bulk of what I wanted to.
I saw D-Walk yawn about a minute ago, and I've literally now stopped yawning since I saw him do it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's your fault. I'm blaming.
Yeah.
See, look at you. Now you're doing it.
God damn it!
You know what's hysterical about yawning though? It's actually a thing. Yawns are actually contagious amongst group of friends. The more you trust each other, the more when one person yawns, the other people will too.
Why you gotta turn that into a heartful moment, bro?
No, I thought you were.
That's not a heartfelt moment. I'm gonna put my butthole against your butthole, and we're gonna poop back and forth like a tennis match.
Ew.
Fucking.
That's gonna sound the same.
That's a touching moment. And we need a witness.
That match. One up. These
40 love.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what constitutes break point.
Constituting break point. Sounds like a movie from the 90s about firefighters.
Wasn't that a surf movie?
It's Point Break.
Point Break.
Oh, Point Break. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I am stopping recording.
Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail. The rest of my day, go
Digging that shit out.
You make the same sound with a Butterfinger in your ass.
I'm already in the meeting, Zoom. God damn it.
Oh, it's gross. But it didn't take long to get the candy bar in the ass. Freelance heroism won't take long to get a candy bar in your ass.
We get more candy bars in your ass before 10 a.m. than most podcasts do all day.
If you want a Snicker, we'll put a Milky Way in your 3 Musketeer.